Hello, this is Crystal Racing here with the Crystal score for the 2021 Turkish Grand Prix, and your race winner today is Valtteri Bottas. Pole position, fastest lap and a race win. It was a perfect score for the Finnish driver who takes his first win since Russia last year, and he's the driver of the day with a 10 out of 10 score. Did not put a foot wrong, which is quite unusual considering he always seems to struggle in wet conditions, but today it all went perfectly well. Second place, Max Verstappen, 9.5 out of 10. He now retakes the championship lead. He's now 6 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And once again, it was another great display of damage limitation for both Max and Red Bull. Didn't have a car as fast as Mercedes this weekend. So once again, this was a great performance by the Red Bull boys. Third place is teammate Sergio Perez, 9 out of 10. A much improved display after his recent showings, held Lewis Hamilton up very, very well earlier on in the race, and, also held off Leclerc, and for me, Sergio can be very happy with his efforts this weekend. Fourth place, Charles Leclerc, 9.5 out of 10. Ferrari tried to hold him out on those used warning to tyres, since of course you don't have to actually pit in a wet race, but as it was, his tyres were too worn out, and fourth place was probably the best he and Ferrari could hope for. And of course, the qualifying display of getting third yesterday was brilliant. Fifth place, Lewis Hamilton, 8 out of 10. Started at the back because of the engine penalty. Started down in P11, I beg your pardon, due to the engine penalty for his power unit. And I have to say he probably could have got a podium if he stayed out, but of course Mercedes, for some reason, with just 7 laps ago, decided to put him on Inter tyres, where, of course, everyone knows that when you put the Inter tyres on, within about 5 laps, they start overheating, and you have to struggle for about another 5 laps after that to deal with the overheating phase, and inevitably Hamilton was never going to really make his way back up to the podium after that. And of course, he was even having to hold off Gasly towards the end. So really bad decision making by Mercedes. Lewis probably should have put his foot down and told him to shut up, but he didn't. So that's now, 6 points behind Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. 6th place, Pierre Gasly, 9 out of 10. Great performance by him, getting 4th in qualifying yesterday. And of course, 6th place in the race. And he thoroughly destroyed his teammate yet again. And he was even catching Lewis towards the end. So it was a fine performance yet again from the 25-year-old Frenchman. 7th place, Lando Norris, 8.5 out of 10. McLaren didn't really have a very fast car this weekend in the conditions and on the track, but Lando did the most he could, and once again really dominated Ricciardo. 8th place, Carlos Sainz, 7.5 out of 10. It's not very fine overtaking from Carlos, but whatever happened to him in qualifying, I'm not entirely sure. But, having ended up down in 15th, I'm not sure if he had a problem or not, but, nonetheless, he did well in the circumstances, and once again, his solid season continues. 9th place, Lance Stroll, 8 out of 10. Out-qualified Vettel, out-raced Vettel, and, I got past Ocon towards the end, and it was a very solid weekend yet again for the young Canadian. 10th place, Esteban Ocon, 9 out of 10. The only driver to complete the race without a single pit stop. And this pit strategy worked out very well, but of course, if Giovinazzi had actually allowed Kimi to get past, I think he might have lost that point. And now, of course, onto the Alfa Romeo boys. 7.5 out of 10 for both Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen. And just for those wondering, Valtteri Bottas got driver of the day. But as for Alfa Romeo, why didn't Giovinazzi allow Kimi to get past? I do not know, because I honestly believe Kimi could have got Ocon for that final point. But of course, it seems to me Antonio Giovinazzi is doing everything he can to get booted out of F1 at the end of this year. And, well, frankly, at the end of this year, Alfa Romeo will no longer be of any concern to me because, of course, Kimi Raikkonen is retiring from Formula 1, if you didn't know. 13th place, Daniel Ricciardo, 5 out of 10. Got knocked out in Q1 yesterday. Don't know, because apparently they decided he was quick enough to survive the Q1 Cup, but he wasn't. And of course, despite an early pit stop where he was running as high as 11th, he eventually dropped back with his tyres wilting, and the two Alfa Romeos went past him. And yeah, 5 out of 10. It's yet another really poor race in what has been an abysmal season, really, for the Australian. He better hope the 2022 regulations come up good for him, otherwise next year he's just going to be treading water, and frankly, no one's going to take him seriously anymore. 14th place, Yuki Tsunoda, 5 out of 10. It's pretty much the same story for Yuki. I mean, he's another driver who's hoping the 2022 regulations work out for him. Otherwise, he's going to be on the scrap heap as well. 15th place, George Russell, 7 out of 10. Williams simply didn't have a fast enough car this weekend. And that's all George could do. You know, beat Latifi in both qualifying and the race. Nothing more to say. 16th place, Fernando Alonso, 5 out of 10. Got spun out at the first turn by Pierre Gasly, and then incredibly Alonso then went and spun out Mick Schumacher half a lap later. So as a result, Alonso got a 5-second penalty for his antics and never looked like doing anything after that. 17th place, Nicholas Latifi, 6 out of 10. Latifi is, you know, considering he's awful in the wet, this was probably about as good as it could get. But once again, beaten by Russell in the race and in qualifying, same story, don't care. 18th place, Sebastian Vettel, 3 out of 10, reject of the day. Mad decision to suddenly decide to go on medium tyres right in the middle of the race. Yeah, I know the Inters were not feeling very good by that point, but well, I mean, frankly, I'm not entirely sure what he was thinking, considering the fact that last year we all saw on a track like Istanbul, the track doesn't dry out that particularly quickly, considering it doesn't. The track surface just seems to hold on to water quite a long time, and frankly, what the hell was Vettel and Aston Martin thinking in doing that move, in staying, choosing medium tyres? Of course, inevitably he was struggling and weaving, and he couldn't even hold his car in a straight line on the straight. I mean, if you can't hold your car in a straight line down the straight, then I mean, what a clownish decision, considering the fact there was still plenty of moisture on the track and there was plenty of puddles everywhere. And frankly, I mean, he wasn't. I mean, of course, Lance Stroll's been outpacing him all weekend. I mean, I suppose they thought, you know, it's worth a gamble, but oh dear, never mind. 19th place, Mick Schumacher, 7 out of 10. Almighty effort getting that horse into 14th place in qualifying yesterday, and his performance. But of course, it was all went down the bin when Fernando Alonso decided to punt him halfway around the circuit on the first lap, and it meant that Mick was forced to trail Mazepin for a lot of the first half of the race before inevitably overtaking him. 7 out of 10 for Mick, and of course 20th and last was Nikita Mazepin, 5 out of 10. It's Nikita Mazepin. Do I need to say any more? So if you enjoyed this review by Crystal Racing, please like, subscribe to Crystal Racing. I'll see you again next time.